Shalom, shalom. It's Brother Zachariah from wfiEurope. We are here to edify you, and give the judgment for Esau that is coming upon the earth. I pray everyone is having a good week, is enduring through the spirit of the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, that you are continuing to do the things that are necessary for this word to be established within us and within ourselves as a nation, repenting, fasting, and praying unto the Most High and beseeching mercy and grace. All right. You want to say anything?
Yeah, shalom. To everyone that's going to join that is in there. We'll join in due time. I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Shai. Pray that brothers and sisters are edified and doing their best to endure as we see the day approaching.
Okay. And on that, I'm going to go to Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25, because we have to be mindful of what's going on in the days that we're living in now, because the days that are coming up are perilous times, as the Most High has revealed to us, as He's promised us. Really, this is what we'll go through. I'm going to share my screen, Most High willing. Most High willing, that sounds good as well. Hold on. There we are. Right. This is Hebrews chapter 10, verse 25. It says, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the manner of some is, by exhorting one another, and so much the more as ye see the day approaching. That's our responsibility, to not forsake that we should be together, to come amongst one another and look at the things that are coming up in the earth. Look at the signs that are happening in the earth. We should be exhorting one another. We have to look at what's about taking place right now, because it's a sign for things that are about to come into play. Right? It says, it says, and so much the more. Right? Exhorting one another, and so much the more. Like, there's so many things that we should be doing for one another in these last days to make sure that we are established as a nation. It says, as you see the days approaching. Right? We should be seeing the days approaching. Right? We should be knowing that we are coming up to the days where the kingdom of Esau is crumbling. We should know these things. We should be able to see these things. We should not be forgetful or neglecting any of these things. Right? I'm also going to go to Luke chapter 21. And I want verse 34. It says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any times your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares. So what's that day? That day of judgment. We don't want that day of judgment to come up upon you unawares, that you didn't notice or didn't see that judgment was coming on the earth, and it's too late because you was too involved in surfeiting, meaning the things that give you pleasure in this life, you took too much heed to it, and you forgot that we're living in the last days. It only takes a little bit of folding of the arms to fall back to sleep, right? We have to make sure we're staying awake, staying alert. So we have to make sure we're knowing the things that are happening on the earth and be watching always, right? Did you have a point?
Yeah, I was going to add that on your screen, I think it's just still showing Hebrews. I don't know if you change that. Okay, yeah, now it's changed. I'm gonna go to classic, right? Because right now it's a time of reaping. Right? Literally, it's a time of reaping and just purging of wickedness, right? In the world, you see that going on. You see loads of things that are taking place, right? But more so, the focus is always about, you know, us as a nation of people, right? Because we see people being, I believe Nathan was saying that when he was at camp, people being mighty in this truth and just slipping away. Right? That's how you know it's a time of reaping, right? So this is, I'll start from the book of Matthew, chapter 13, and I'll start from verse 3. And it says, "And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the waysides, and the fowls came up and devoured them. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth." Right? Verse 10, and Salaki verse 6. "And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away." So a lot of people are gonna, wither away, hearing the truth. Like, it doesn't matter how mighty you are, how many precepts you can recall off your brain. How many camps you've been in, how many brothers that are in America, wherever. You could be all that mighty and then still get sifted out. So it's not nothing to do with, okay, well, I got the mightiest garment and I got the best fringes, right? I got them delivered, right, by a priest of back. He sent me the menorah, right? People just, yeah, that's a priest of back menorah. This is a special one. This is a top class one, and then you just fall out the truth. So you buying that menorah, right? It's just a waste of time. You buying them fringes, it's a waste of time. It don't matter. Yeah, you're gassed and you're holding it up. Yeah, look, none of that matters. If you, it doesn't matter. It's all vanity, right? It says, no, I'll jump down. I'll jump down to verse 11. Now, actually, I'll read on. It says, verse 7, "And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, some an hundredfold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who have ears to hear, let him hear." Right? So those that have ears, they're going to hear this word and they're going to digest it. Right? They're going to say, okay, this tastes good, man. This is good. This is good. But it says, when you read, it says people actually, they fell into good ground, meaning they were rooted. They had root. A lot of people, they don't have root in things they do. Okay, yeah, I was just there for a short time. And what do people say in the world? They say, oh, I'm here for a good time, not a long. What's the phrase? Like, yeah,
A good time, but not a long time.
that's it. That's just that nigger mentality, man. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And in that good time, you ain't done nothing. You just wanted the plants that grew for a bit, and then it just tilted and it just dropped, right? And it says verse 10, and I will land here. Actually, I land on verse 11. "And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given." So a lot of people, they don't have the ability to actually digest this word properly, man. Because if you were, you're eating your food, right? Even with certain foods, you gotta eat it properly. You can't just rushing to eat, and now you feel sick. Now you can't even digest the word properly, right? Let me get another precept on that as well. Look at Ezekiel. All right. You can't just rush to, oh yeah, I got the mightiest breakdowns. You're eating the food, but then you just withered away, man. Right? Just literally just get withered away. It's in Ezekiel 3 and verse 1. It says, "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go and speak unto the house of Israel." Right? Verse 2. "So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll." Right? And it says, verse 3, "And he said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as sweet as honey for sweetness." Right? So when you go verse 4 as well, and he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel and speak my words unto them. Right? So that row is the word, man. That row is the word. It's not just okay, yeah. Well, it's not just your best breakdown, right? It's teach them, don't just be a hero, be a doer also, right? Because you can get sifted out, right? But Khan, you got it.
Khan. We have to be diligent in all things, and not neglect, particular areas. Can't just only, you just want to, like the brother was saying, just think about things that are here today and gone tomorrow. Think about things that are actually spiritual. So as much as I'm gonna go to Sirach chapter 38, right? Because as much as this life is important that we make the most of it, we want to have a righteous balance as well. I'm gonna go to Sirach chapter 38, verse 24. It says, "The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that have little business shall become wise." So it is important that we take particular time from our day in order to get into the wisdom from the Most High. So you have to have that righteous balance. You can't be over safeting in anything. There's some people, they over safet when it comes to work. They idolize work to the point where that becomes their God, and they make their work their personality, and that's a lot in Babylon's system. People ask, what do you do for a living? And then they're gonna base that to see, like, what type of respect that they should give you. Oh, for real, you do that? Yeah. But that's we don't make that our personality, man. These are things that we do to get by, but our attitude and our behaviors should be determined by the precepts, should be determined by the scriptures which resonate with our spirit. It shouldn't be determined by what you do for Babylon in the system. We don't make that, don't make that who you are. You don't let your identity, instead of you calling yourself an Israelite or thinking of yourself as an Israelite, you're thinking of yourself as a plumber. I'm just a plumber, or I'm just an electrician. I'm just a gas engineer. That's not who you are, right? Remember, you are an Israelite, and remember what it means to be an Israelite. Remember what it means to be a watchman. Don't think that you're just these things that Esau has called you. We are the children of Israel, right? And as the children of Israel, we are bound to prophesy and to look at the things that are coming to pass. I'm gonna go to Jeremiah chapter 1. And I'll get verse 10. It says, "See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant." So the role of the prophets was to prophesy that these kingdoms are going to be thrown down, they're going to be rooted up, they're not going to be here forever. There's only one kingdom that's going to be here forever, and it's not going to be this Babylonian kingdom, man. Don't get too comfortable in it. It's actually a joy when we think about that this judgment upon Babylon the Great is going to come. It shouldn't be, you're scared now, you're worried because no, what about my job? Don't think about that. What about my savings? What about my plans? I had a bucket list. Don't put your faith in it. Your bucket list is going to be nothing compared to what we can do in the kingdom. So don't put your faith in what you're going to do on this earth right here today. We have a kingdom that we're aspiring towards. So don't get caught up with those things. All right. So I'm gonna go into some of these things that are gonna be happening, and you can also see these things in the scriptures. I'm gonna start off in Job, right? Because Job really prophesies about all the things that are happening today, man. Right. So Job chapter 18, I'll start verse 5. Right. It says, "Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine." Right. So the light of the wicked is going to be put out. What's the light of the wicked? They're the light of the world. So a lot of people, they flock towards this world because it has bright lights, because people put it up high on a pedestal, and the light of this world is what, just like you have certain animals that when it's dark and there's a light out, they just flock towards that light and they want to hover around that light like moths, and many animals, man, right? They like that. They want to be around where the light is in the darkness, and that's us, right? We are the people who like to go. We're in the darkness and we just flock to any light that we see because that seems like the light in the dark place, right? The light at the end of the tunnel. And that's in the curses, man. It's a curse to actually have the wicked as your light. We go to Deuteronomy 28, and I want verse 29. It says, "And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness." Right? Meaning we're going to be blind, groping, and hoping for things that are not, for us. We're just trying to use anything to stay up and stay upright. So the wicked being a light is the thing that a lot of our people have taken a hold of. They've taken a hold to the wisdom and the knowledge and the society, the buildings, the opportunities, all of these things that this world has to offer. A lot of people take that. They take that degree. They take that lifestyle, and they think this is it. I've got everything that I've ever worked for. This is it. But we're working for the kingdom, man. Right? So not to say you don't look after yourself, of course, but I remember the end goal is not on the earth in this life. The end goal is in the kingdom, not in this earth and the heavens, which is going to be renewed, man, and restored in righteousness. So we're looking for a new heaven and a new earth, just like Abraham was looking for a new place to stay. He wasn't trying to stay in Babylon, man. He wasn't trying to stay in Mesopotamia. He's trying to get out of there, looking for a new place, knowing that we are just strangers and pilgrims upon the earth. I'll finish that. It says, "As the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee." So the person that in the darkness you're trying to have save you is not going to save you, because this world has a lot of light, and the Lord said that this light is going to be put out. Everything that you trusted in, us being in darkness, us not having knowledge, us not being allowed to read, all of these things, now we've gone to that, a lot of our people have gone to that light. Guess what? That light's going to get put out. That's only a temporary fix, right? A temporary light. That's why they're referred to as Lucifer, because they are the light of this world. We'll go to Lamentation chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "As for us, for our eyes as yet failed, for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us." So that's watching on the wrong side, watching for a nation that can't save. So that's what, unfortunately, we've done in time past. Our people have done. They've looked at a nation to be able to save them. So as we see, we're going to go into, there's wars happening right now, which we're all aware of. Don't expect to go and into the army, right, sign up to the army, and then these the UK army or the UK Air Force is gonna save you. Don't expect that, man. Right? Don't think that, oh well, if a war comes here, if a war comes to the UK, then, or the war comes to Europe, or the war comes wherever you are in Babylon, even wherever you are, man. Don't think, Esau's got me though. Right? He's gonna save me. If anything pops off, I know Esau's got my back. Don't put your trust and think that. Right? Don't think that this place won't crumble. This place won't come to naught. Like, everything's just gonna be set up. Everything's just gonna be fine. You're comforting yourself, telling you, everything's just gonna be all right. Right? Giving yourself smooth things to tell yourself to make yourself feel better. No, don't get too comfortable. This place will have an end to it. There will be a kingdom that will be established, and it will be ours if we earn it, if we work for it, and if we labor for it. Right? So this light of this world is going to get put out. So let me get that article real quick, actually. So you can't put your trust in these nations, right? You can't think that these nations are just gonna save you, right? I believe in Babylon the Great. I think they'll save me. They've never done me any wrong. They've never done me any harm. They haven't done anything that could that would do anything bad to me. Let me what's going on here? That's what I want. Right. It says 3 U.S. soldiers killed in Jordan attack, named. Right. So these soldiers are in the Middle East doing what? Fighting. Are they fighting for the Israelites? Are they fighting for the Hebrew Israelites? No, man. We don't tell people go out there and the Israelites, right? Us, we don't tell anyone to go out there, go to other countries, go to other nations, and then kill anybody. We don't tell anyone to go and do that. So I remember one time someone came up to us and said, that we're the evil guys. But we're the good guys. We don't tell anyone go and we don't tell any people to go to other nations, go to other countries that are halfway around the world with assault rifles and with multiple and different types of caliber bullets and put them in people's heads, man. We don't tell anyone to do that, and we're not expecting, we're not exhorting, we're not encouraging, we're not condoning anyone that's an Israelite that will go do that. However, this is what Babylon does. That's what they do. Right? There was a time when war was about you just protecting your country, protecting your nation. Right? You on the front lines of your nation, of your country. They're not in their country, man. So these are not really soldiers that are going out to these countries in the so-called Middle East. They're not really soldiers. They're really mercenaries, because these people they put them in these uniforms, make them look like soldiers, but soldiers back then were never like this, going out to almost soldiers just when King David have his soldiers out in China somewhere just doing just for no reason. King David, he sent out Joab and Abishai to France to damn for what? You got to protect your interests, but because Esau, he doesn't like to stay at home, he thinks his interest is all over the world. Now you're in Jordan. What are you doing in Jordan? What does Jordan and the River Jordan have to do with you, man? The Most High chose that river. What are you doing there? And not just that, why are you sending our people there, man? Marie, go down a little bit.
Okay, can I add?
I can't go.
You know what's interesting, right, is that if this was like a stabbing, they probably would have said like free black, you know, free black males or whatever, free black so and so, but they ain't done it. They done US to kind of like, it's kind of like propaganda, but it's like because it's US soldiers. Okay, now we're gonna get behind it and be, you know, on board with it. Or can't.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And if it was Edomites, they would have made, you know how it goes. This is Sergeant William Jerome Rivers, 46, Specialist Kennedy Layden Sanders, and Specialist Brianna Alexandria Moffett. So 46, 24, and 23. You got 23-year-old women out there, man, dying in Jordan. Imagine, some people are raising these children, and they want to, for whatever reason, they want to be a soldier, right? Shouldn't want to, take the route of doing hair and makeup and nails and eyelashes. She decided, I'm gonna go, and instead of being a hair and makeup stylist, I'm gonna be a soldier. Cool, right? Well, look, I'm gonna read on in this. It says the U.S. government has released the names of 3 troops killed by an enemy drone attack in Jordan on Sunday. Sergeant, so it just says the names again. I'm gonna read on. It says the U.S. has blamed Iranian-backed groups, and the Pentagon said it carried the footprints of Kataib Hezbollah. Right, that the group. It says the Pentagon also reiterated the U.S. does not want a war with Iran. Right, so you're saying that they just they killed some of your soldiers. And you're saying, no, we don't even want war with these men. That's how you know these guys are getting. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they wouldn't be saying that. They would not be saying that. They were finding any reason to have a war with anyone. Now, it's like, you getting someone, you with your friends or whatever. This person comes over, or these people come over, and they come bang your friend in the head. You drop, and he drops down, and then you back off saying, you know what? I know he was talking all of that, but hey, I'm not even about that. I don't even want it like that. Right? That's America right now. Right? You're not bad, man. Right? You seen what the other side is about now. You're putting your hands up, saying, "You know what? I'm not even like that. I didn't even rep like that." Right? Talking about you don't even rep like that, man. Talking about you don't even want war. Right? That's a lie, man. So you don't want to put your trust in these nations, and these nations are not going to save you. These nations are going to these nations didn't save these 3, right? Babylon didn't save them. They obviously trusted in it, and they have high rankings, man. Brothers are sergeants, man. It's not just anyone. These are people who are experienced, and them being out there, them putting their trust in them in Babylon the Great, trying to represent them, wearing their uniform, going out there, and being out there in Jordan to do what? Get killed by drones, man. and they're just going to be another name, right? Esau is not going to give them any type of, respect, man. Because why were they out there on these front lines in the first place, man? So, yeah, Khan, you go anyway, you go.
I mean, even with that, like I was saying, is that chiefly that's why it goes back to the whole point of being amongst your own. Really, that's what it should be. Because when you're amongst your own, right, you're not gonna be worrying. You're not gonna be indulging in that, right? And women are not gonna be getting into damn war, right? I got a precept in Isaiah 9, right, on that point. Because now, obviously, war used to be a different thing, back in the day. Like war wasn't okay. I don't know, I got ICBM, right? Version 2 of the first one that I made, right? It never used to be like that. We'd have to we've got to go to the field, we meet up, and everyone got their weapons, right? It's the book of Isaiah 9 and verse 5 I start from. It reads, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire," right? Because that's what war is right now. War is a thing of, okay, we don't even need to. I don't even need to see Zachariah. I can just, I could probably send something. I got a little, open my phone up and I send something and it blows up his house, right? God forbid I do that, but hey, that's how war works now, right? These innocent Jakes, right, ignorantly went to go and fight for a nation that won't save them, that doesn't care about them, right? That's sending them like a sheep to the slaughter, literally being sent, right, to fight. And you know what? A lot of the time, it's for money reasons, man. Because you can get there's privileges of being in the army. Or you might get, it might be less money to pay for your college so and so, or to pay for this, right? That's what it tends to be. But because these jakes, because it's ignorance, right? And I'll get that classic. Because it's ignorance, we fall into things that, hey, we don't even need to do. Because we don't even know who we are. We fall into these things where we think we need to go and, okay, I got to stand up for England. And you're standing there and you're crying, you get tears, and you're singing a national anthem. This country don't care about you, man. Right? It's the book of Hosea 4 and 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. Right? So look at this from our parents not remembering who they were. You can see that effect on their children, because now their children they're literally destroyed, right? Just like our people are literally destroyed when we see them at camp, right? That's literally what it is. Literally, you don't know who you are, so you're going and you're thinking, yeah, I'm a real American, and you think you're Hulk Hogan. Yeah, you're saying I'm a real American, and you're doing your ears like that, right? You're fighting for the wrong team, and you should be fighting for your nation of people, which should be the Israelites. Right? But this is what happens when you're caught up. Right? This is what happens when you're caught up with the philosophies of this world. Right? For the philosophies of what these Edomites be teaching you. Right? And get that in Colossians as well. Actually, let's go 2 Thessalonians. Because that's ultimately what it is. People been deceived, thinking, yeah, if I support them, then it's fine. Then it's still good. Yeah, I'll support them, and I'll pay whatever. Nah, man. Right? So it's the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2. I'll start chapter 2, brother, sure. Right? And I'll start from verse 3. Right? It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition." Right? So let no man deceive you. Well, some of our people have been deceived. They've just been entangled with these wines. They're drinking loads of cups. Yeah, that's good. And this is the new wine, right? People saying this is the new wine now, right? It tastes good, right? That's what I'm hearing. This is the new wine. Got the new wine there, and some wines might tell you to go to war. Some wines might tell you that. I heard something crazy. Some people are saying that Aboriginals are not they don't come from Abraham or something. So some of these new wines, people you're being deceived easily. You're just drinking it. That tastes good. Cause we're such a curious people, man. You want okay, I want to look good. I got the 5-star stripes, all these rankings, and now your bloodline's gone. Your family's destroyed. They're mourning for you, right? But all let me get that as well. Let me get that in Proverbs 5. The precept I always fail to remember. But we got it today. Praises, right? So book of Proverbs, chapter 5 and verse 15, right? It says, drink waters out of thine own cistern and running waters out of thine own well, right? Let thy fountains. So to start with, we should be drinking out of our own system, not all these other doctrines and all these philosophies where we think, okay, we're doing our people justice, so like, yeah, right? And that's how this system confuses you, makes you become one with everyone, right? Everyone's all one people together. God loves everyone, right? Where did God say, right? And the last I checked is that when people went to war, right, they were ordained, right? The Most High, it's what the Most High done. And you even had that instances with Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom where they were going to go to war with each other, but I believe it's in Kings, right? They were told not to. They were told not to fight against each other, and they didn't, right? So there's times that people are ordained to actually go to war. Right? The Most High didn't ordain me. Okay. I called up the Israelites, tell them put their army boots on, and let's go to Yemen. Let's get it cracking. The Most High didn't ordain that, but we think that we're better than the Most High, man. But we've been deceived. We're drinking many wines, right? But Khan, you got it.
Right, and unfortunately, that was two sisters, man. Or one sister. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the other one. That's what's going on there, but you got a sister out there nonetheless, right? Being killed out there, man. Going to war for these nations, not at home raising up children. You know, not having a, and that's that's not soft life right there, right? That's not soft life, man. Right? You wanna, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 real quick, verse 56. It says, the tender and delicate woman among you. Right? It doesn't say the warrior woman among you, man. Right? The specialist, right? The army specialist. No, it says the tender and delicate woman among you. It says, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. So speaking about our women that they weren't 10 toes down in Jordan with guns and utility equipment, man, and army knives. That's not delicateness and tenderness. So, we've come very far being in this land where that's normalized, man. I just want to get it out one more time, because this is sad, man. All right, this is sad. There's a bit more on that as well. It kind of shows where it happened. Yeah, so I'm gonna read on a little bit. It says, we don't seek war, but we will take action and respond to attacks on our forces, said Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh. So they don't want war because they know what's going to happen if there's war. Right? They know who's going to win that and who's going to lose. If they knew, everything was going to go well for them, they would just go out and just war, man. But they're shook, right? I'm not sorry to say it, but certain people, your favorite country, your favorite land, your favorite kingdom, your favorite empire is scared right now. Right? Scared of these heathen that have come back to rebel against them. So now they got a question, or now they got an answer for why they've been in these lands in the first place, trying to deploy soldiers there, setting up embassies, setting up strongholds, which is really what these embassies are, to be there. Now they've got to give an account for why and how they've done that. I'm gonna go to Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. And that's Esau. He's a proud man and he doesn't keep at home. He doesn't like to stay at home. When Jacob was at home, where was Esau? He was out, man, with his bow and arrow, catching deer, just hunting, right? Just out hunting. He wasn't at home, relaxing. He wasn't, in the fields, looking after the sheep. He was out hunting. That's his nature. It's his nature just to be out and hunt, like a roaring lion, man, or a lioness. It says, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death. Right? He literally, if you want to know where Esau is, find where the death is happening, and you'll find Esau at the root of that. You'll find Esau having some part to play, whether it be from up top, whether it be from behind the scenes. He has some part to play in this. It says, and cannot be satisfied. Right? You got that I Wayne spirit, man. Right? You can't satisfy Babylon the Great, because they need more. They need more wood for the fire, man. They need more bloodshed for their fire to keep burning. They need more death. They need more sin on the earth. That's why evil's multiplied when the Edomites came into power. They need more and more of sin upon the earth in order to fuel their power, which comes from Satan. Because they got whatever deal they got with Satan, they need all of this to be happening upon the earth. So, one Israelite death won't satisfy Babylon, right? They need multiple Israelite deaths. That's what will satisfy Babylon the Great, man. So we need to make sure that our people are coming out of sin, coming out of idolatry. I'm going to read them. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So Esau likes to bring all the nations to him so he can go and dominate them. So that's why you see these nations out in Jordan, Syria, Iran and Iraq, Palestine, in matters and places that don't concern them. How long have they been telling us that they're European, but they're in lands that have nothing to do with them? There's no land, there's no continent where they're not trying to be there and establish themselves. They like to be all around the earth, man, involving themselves in things that have nothing to do with them. So this is, the scriptures prophesy against these people, man. I'm going to go to Job chapter 20 and verse 4. It says, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short? Right? The triumphing of the wicked is short. So there was a lot of time where there was a triumphing of the wicked. Like, for example, in World War One and World War Two, there was a triumphing of the wicked. I believe they have something called the Arc de Triomphe, if I'm not mistaken, in France. All right. Like I said, the triumphing of the wicked is short. Right? This is the Arc, the triumph, and these arcs or arches. Esau creates them whenever he wins a particular war. So you may see some in London, right, in the Marble Arch. You have them in France. You have them all around the world. It's a monument to the things that Esau has done, the wars that Esau has made, and the spoils and the treasures and all the things that he's accumulated. He makes these arches. It says that I'm not good with the French, man, right? But the Arc de Triomphe is one of the most famous monuments in Paris, France, standing at the western end of the Champs-Élysées, at the center of Place Charles de Gaulle, formerly named Place. All right, I'm just gonna read on a little bit. It says the Arc. I'll read on from here. The Arc de Triomphe honors those who fought and died for France in the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. So that's the time where Esau was triumphing, in the time of the Napoleon Wars and the French Revolution, when they were gaining power, when they were becoming much stronger, right? As French people, they were becoming very strong. That's when they were triumphing, when they were under Napoleon, when they were strong. They used to have Napoleon as their leader. Who's their leader now? Right? Who's their leader now? Right? What community is right? Just like, that's what I'm saying, man. Who's their leader now? So they're not as strong as they were before. Right? The triumphing of the wicked is short. This is the time where they were triumphing in the 17th and the 18th centuries, and the 19th and the 20th century even as well. I'm reading on because we'll go into that as well, I believe. It says, with the names of all French victories, see that? All French victories and generals inscribed on its inner and outer surfaces. So it's got all of the winners of the wars and all the people who came and helped them win these wars. It says, and all of these generals and all of these people, they were the same ones that were going into lands where our people were at and killing them and doing all types of stuff, right, and stealing from them. They would triumph at that. You also have an arc that Titus made when Jerusalem was taken down. So you have different types of arches made all around the world that Esau uses as a monument for his triumphing. But it's short though, so we're not going to see that in the kingdom. I mean, if I Lord willing, I get to make it to the kingdom, I'm not allowing any arch. No, I'll personally help with the destruction and demolition of all of these things myself. Even if I do it with a hammer and chisel. It says, with the names of all French victories and generals inscribed in its inner and outer surfaces, beneath its vault lies the tomb of the unknown soldier from World War One. So the wars that Esau was doing around the world is what led to these things being made around the world. So that was the triumphing of the wicked, but it's going to be short. All of these monuments and these accounts of, we did this in World War One, in World War Two, we defeated the Germans, we got them down, we destroyed them, D-Day, Blitz, all of that is going to be done. I'm not going to be hearing about that. Oh yeah, as I used to hear back in the day. My granddad, he fought in World War II. You know, he died for the country and stuff like that. No one's going to be talking about that anymore, man. Right? They're triumphant. They're saying, yeah, if it wasn't for us, we'd all be speaking German. I don't care what. Like, I don't want to speak. I don't want to be speaking English, let alone German. Right? I'm gonna go back. There's Job chapter 20, verse 5. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite, but for a moment. Like, didn't you know that the joy of the hypocrite was for a moment? He's the hypocrite Esau. Now, didn't you know that his joy, everything he's rejoicing in, was just gonna be short? You think that was gonna last like, you know, another 1,000 years, you know, and it's gonna be a utopia, and we're gonna have all these flying cars, and then, you know, people are gonna be doing all types of stuff, man. You know, everyone's just gonna be walking, talking robots, and, you know, you believing in these movies, man. The joy of the hypocrite is short. I'm gonna read on verse 6. It says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? So his excellency mounts up to the heavens, literally, because he builds these monuments. He builds these high monuments just to be a monument itself to his excellency, and be like, yes, look how great I am. You know, you're going to see these towers and these buildings that are made. You've got these Eiffel Towers, man, and all of these things that he's making around the world and has made around the world, just to profess how his godliness on the left-hand side. Right? And his head reach unto the clouds. That's how proud he is, how high-minded he is, that his head's reaching unto the clouds. The Lord said he will perish forever. Right? He shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Right? Because Esau's going to get flushed out the earth, man. Right? He's going to be spinning, and he's going to just be flushed, man. He's going to be gone. You're not going to see him, not going to be around no more. Verse 8, it says, he shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yet he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Right? So this is the judgment, man. This is the judgment. You go ahead.
People, this is a funny topic to go over, man, because everyone's gonna receive judgment, but you can't judge. Everyone's gonna receive judgment, but you can't judge. Does that make sense? Right? People were set up. Yeah, let's go to that. People were set up to judge this place. Right? What do you think Samson was doing? Right? What do you think the Maccabees were doing? They saw the Edomites. You guys got it. Kind of left them to it. No, they were putting them in their place, man. They were putting them in their place, right? It's the book of Judges. Start at verse 2. Judges chapter 2, and I'll read verse 16. It says, nevertheless, the Lord raised up judges which delivered them out of the hands of those that spoiled them. Right? The judges are set up, right, to help our people, right, to speak against these powers, these principalities that are in place today, right, that are literally destroying our communities. And we think that these things are going to be the things that save us, right? But we're gonna judge this earth. So the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 6, we're gonna judge this earth, right? Just like this earth is being judged as it is. When we're speaking these words, and we're judging this earth, when we're speaking against the heathen, and we're judging them, right? And right now, they got a grace period. They got a grace period right now as well, man. Because there's gonna be a time on this earth when People are, they're saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna go fight for the country." Hey, well, when that comes here, what are you gonna do? When that war kicks off here and there's civil unrest here in the UK, what are you gonna do? You're gonna do. Why and that's why you gotta be careful, man, as well, right? Who you bring amongst you, because in them days, people say, "Oh yeah, I saw you guys there on the corner. You was teaching the word, and I just I felt in a time of prayerlessness, he's saying this or she's saying this. Yeah, and I just want to be amongst you, Lord. Do you guys have any fringes? It's gonna be too late then, man. We're gonna be keeping it pushing, like we've been telling people. Right? We're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna be keeping it pushing, right? But point being is that there were judges that were set up to judge the heathen, right? Like you had Samson, I believe was it the he used a jawbone. I don't know if it's of a donkey, right? Don't know what the animal was, but he used a jawbone, right? Let me see if I can pull that up. So like yeah, got that Bible show, right? If Samson done that, what do you think we're gonna be doing? Hmm? Get that. Get that for like yeah. Hold on.
Judges 15.
Can't.
Yeah, hold on. Come on, Judges 15, verse 15. It says, and he found, and he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand and took it, and slew 1,000 men therewith.
Right, man. So if that was happening, then what do you think is gonna happen in this time, man? Or what do you think is gonna happen in this time? Because remember, the things that are happening then are the same things that are gonna be happening in the earth, right? In time to come. We're just waiting. It's a matter of time when these things start happening again. Now you got nation against nation. Man are just picking up anything because that's what it's gonna be like. People are gonna be wanting to survive, right? But so you see with Esau, his judgment, right? We don't want to be envious of Esau, man. People trying to say, I wish, see that video, they had this little Jake, he said, he said something like, I don't feel like being black. And then his family kind of slap him in the face, right? They slap him in the face because they say, hey, what do you mean? You rather be an Edomite? You rather be an Edomite? Because let me read this. This is Proverbs 24 and verse 1, right? It says, be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. Because what happens when you don't want to be with them, man? You die. You end up dead. Right? And that's not to disrespect, our people that have, passed away, right? But that's just to show you, hey, that's the judgment that comes with trying to join hand in hand with a damn oppressor. You want to say, okay, yeah, I want to be with them. Well, you can shuck and jive. You're going to be shucking and jiving all the way to the grave. Now you wonder, well, how did I end up? Well, it's too late to question that. Right, I read on. It says, for their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. Hey, who does that, man? Right, hey, that's obviously wicked Israelites. Hey, but really, hey, that's Esau, man. Hey, what are we gonna do? And they'll put it out on the news outlets. We're gonna blow up South America, right? And they're proud about it. And now, Jake, you wanna say, yeah. Now you got that Toy Story spirit. The Edomite in the garden, man. Just want to destroy everything. You want to walk around. You want to put toys and rip the toys off and put one arm on the back of the head and say, "Yeah, cool, that's what it is." Right? That's that. You don't want to be envious of your oppressor. Right? Let me get another one as well. Right? You just want to follow the oppressor. Right? Well, hey, he's got judgment coming. Right? It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, chapter 3, so like yeah, and verse 31. Right? It says, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Right? Because hey, the judgment that he has coming. Hey, let's read that judgment, man. Because a lot of people, I asked a Christian lady, I said, oh, well, so have you read the book of Obadiah? She's saying, no. I don't even know what the answer was, man. Most of the time, it's usually no. People don't be reading Obadiah. They don't be reading about the destruction of what's going to happen to these Edomites. No one's trying to read that book, right? If you've been, maybe you've been in a church, right, and they read Obadiah in the, in the service. Hey, let us know in the chat. Let us know if they read Obadiah in the church, and they say, yeah, someone go to the book of Obadiah. I kind of be confounded, right? Let me pull that up, because no one's reading that, man. No one's reading. Okay, so what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to these people? No one's reading it. All right, Khan, right? So this is the book. Let's start. We start at verse 1 for the context, right? It's the book of Obadiah 1, right? Obadiah 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, concerning Edom, right? I wonder who Edom is, right? We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle, right? Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised, right? The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me to the ground? Hey, that's talking about none other than Babylon the Great, man, and them Edomites. That they're so puffed up, with we're wise, right? They got that Greek spirit. We're wise. We got the knowledge. 26,000 years ago, that's when the earth was around, right? But hey, they're not reading Obadiah about the judgment that's due to come for them, man. Right? Prophecy. What do they call it? They call it eschatology, I believe. Right? No one wants to deal with eschatology of what's going to take place at the end. They just say, okay, Christ is coming back for everyone. Yeah, Christ, yeah, we're gonna hold hands in a circle, we're clapping, we're singing Kumbaya. Hey, what's this reading? What's this talking about? Right? I'll jump to verse, I'll read on. It says, verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. Right? Because they're crumbling, man. When you start looking at their banking systems, right? Even here, they're closing. Why are they closing banks? I thought this was this was it. This was the system you all want. Everyone wants to be like America. Everyone wants to be like the English. Well, your system's falling. All right, let me pull this article up as well, because you can see people are starting to, they're starting to shift, starting to switch sides, man. Right, so this is on Watch Guru. Right, so this says 20 nations join Russian payment system, ditch US dollar. So this is judgment, right? This is judgment that is being put on the economy, right, of the Edomites. You can see, we'll read on, right? It says this, it says, coinciding with the BRICS, right? BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Overall de-dollarization plans, 20 nations have adopted the Russian payment system to ditch the US dollar. Indeed, the country has said that its alternative to the SWIFT already has more than 159 foreign participants. So people are no longer wanting to accept the money that Esau has. They don't want to deal with that. They're saying, okay, we're going to switch and we're going to go to Denmark, right? It says, for the BRICS alliance, finding a way to challenge the Western payment system has been a key aspect of its infrastructure. Subsequently, Russia's system for transmitting financial messages could be that alternative. Indeed, Russia Central Bank Governor Elevira, right, Nabalina, announced a recent BRICS discussion. So basically, what's going on is that people are starting to shift away right? And that's showing you how knowledge puffs up, man. Knowledge does puff up. They think they got it all. They think, okay, we got it all figured out, right? We can save the world, right? But people are shifting away from the monetary system that's being put in place, and they're going to the other people that you are having issues with. Everyone's going to start saying, I believe even France, they might even be considering if they're going to stay in the EU. Something I've seen as well. They're considering France to consider if they're going to stay in the EU. We already left that, so-called. But many nations are beginning to turn away, right? Even the Edomites themselves, right? Even the Edomites themselves are beginning to turn away from each other, right? Let me get a precept on that as well. Let me get a precept on that, guys. Because you can see here, like people want people that are actually going to be, they want people that are profitable, man. They want people that are actually going to rule this place properly. Because this place is finished, right? And if you're an Edomite, right, and you're poor, you're off, because this is your system. You should be rolling around in the money, man. You shouldn't be on benefits. You should be up there, right? You really should be up there, man. All right, come on. Let me go back to Obadiah. I've got to find that precept in Proverbs first, right? After that, Salakia, right? So then I'll jump to verse 18 in Obadiah, right? Not sharing my screen as well, right? It's Obadiah 18, it says, and the house of Jacob, right, shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. All right, so whoever these Edomites are, right, there's not gonna be any of them remaining. Not gonna be any more Edomites, right? And like the brother was saying about during a time when the so-called European man came into power, these Edomites, right? Hey, what happened? Wickedness was increased on the earth, right? So whatever a man sows, a man reaps. So the same wickedness that they came and they brought into the earth, what's gonna happen to them? Hey, the same thing, man. People are tired of this disgusting rule that's going on. People say, okay, why don't you go back to your own country then? Right? Well, I'm not gonna do that, right? With this weird ass system, right? So I'm gonna read a wisdom of like a Sirach. I'm gonna read the book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 14, right? The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 14, it says, the Lord have cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. The Lord hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Right? That's who's the lowly? Hey, that's us, man. We are hoping to inherit that kingdom and rule over all these nations. Right? And when you read in that verse 14, the thrones of these proud princes, right? That's these Edomites, right? Even our people, okay, yeah, I'm puffed up, I know. Well, what are you doing? Because when you read up, it talks about pride being the beginning of sin, right? But I'll read on in verse number 17. I'll start at verse 16, so like it says, the Lord overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. So Ecclesiastes 1 and 9, the thing which have been is that which will be. These kingdoms that are here, they're going to be destroyed. These people that are ruling the earth right now, they're going to be destroyed. There's a judgment for everything that is done, right? In verse 17, he took some of them away and destroyed them and have made their memorial to cease from the earth. So some people, you don't even remember about them. What happened to them? You're trying to tap your head. You've forgotten about all these kingdoms because that's how badly they were destroyed, man. Right? But come on, you got it.
All right. So Yeah, there's like kingdoms that you had that we don't think about anymore, man. So Babylon the Great is just going to be another one of those kingdoms. I really, even Babylon of old, you don't really go in school and they start teaching you about Babylon, really. You don't really look around and you're thinking about Babylon, really. It was great for the time, but no one's thinking about that anymore. And that's a foreshadowing of how this Babylon's going to be. It might seem great now. You may be thinking, nah, surely it's still going to be here, and the people are still going to be here. They're not going to utterly perish from the face of the earth. They'll still be around, surely. No, the precepts say otherwise. Let's go to Job 21:2. All right, Job 21, and we'll start verse 17, right? Just Job chapter 21, verse 17. It says, how oft is the candle of the wicked put out? As a brother was saying, how often is it? How much do you see? How much is it the story that the candle of the wicked, the light of this world, the light that the wicked has, is put out? Who puts it out? The Most High puts it out. Right? Their spirit, the things that they move in, is put out. How often does that happen? Very often. It says, how oft cometh their destruction upon them? So you have to remember, the destruction of the wicked, it comes upon them. It says, God distributeth sorrows in his anger. The Most High gets angry at nations. He doesn't wink at all of their things that they're doing that's evil, that they need to be judged for. Right? It says, they are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. God layeth up his iniquity for his children. We're saying, why would they get judged? They didn't put your forefathers in slavery. That was their parents. That was their grandparents. God lays it up, meaning that's your inheritance that you come to inherit. Your forefathers, they gave you this debt to pay, right? Debts get carried down, man. Right? You think you can be in debt, and then because you die, it just gets wiped away now. Someone's got to pay for it, right? And a lot of these Edomite forefathers put your people in debt, man. Right? And now you got to pay that. It says, God layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. For what pleasure have he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst? So there's going to be no house after him. They like to set up their houses, but their houses are going to be cut down. All right, their houses are going to be cut down. This right here is the face of a man getting judged by the Most High. All right, getting judged by the Most High God. Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach Malak Yahushua. All right. They call him King Charles. All right, they call him King Charles. It says King Charles diagnosed with cancer, says Buckingham Palace. The monarch, 75, began treatment on Monday after a separate procedure for an enlarged prostate. So they set up their kings, they set up their people to reign. I think Queen Elizabeth died, and here comes the king now. The king's gonna be reigning, and we can continue this royal family. But as it says in Job, 21 verse 21, it says, "For what pleasure have he in his house after him, when the number of his months is cut off in the midst?" So you might have thought, he's gonna have a nice little reign, everything's gonna be peaceful. My mom finally died. Now I'm gonna be on the throne. It's gonna be good. Now you can't even sit down on that throne for real, right? Because his prostate's enlarged. So it's gonna be very difficult to sit down now. So he's getting judged at the moment, and this is just a sign for the rest of this world. I'm gonna get a precept in Sirach chapter 10, and I'll start verse 1. I'll start verse 2, actually. It says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." So the ruler of the city is this guy, right? This man. He's got, now he's got an enlarged prostate. He's got an enlarged ears, an enlarged nose. Now he's got an enlarged prostate. So that's judgment from the Most High. All right, I'm gonna read on that actually, because there was times where he was going to the hospital, they were taking him there, and then they're saying, yeah, he might have some prostate issues and stuff like that. They're trying to. I could already tell they're trying to not give away too much. They want to see probably if they can stop him from getting it completely and it being overblown to the point of there being no return. They probably wanted to just see if they could get it out before, because they don't want to put out this type of information, right? They want to make sure that the king is kind of, got a good name. No one's worried about him dying and stuff like that. So if they're putting that out there, it's probably Pete, man. Yeah, it's probably Pete. Right, the brother said, man, he's old anyway, man. So I don't even know why they even put their trust in this guy, man. Right? I don't know why they put their trust in this guy. Man became a king at 75. You've got time for that, man. Or 70, whenever he was. Ain't no one got time for that, man. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna lead? Where's this guy gonna lead you, man? What's he gonna do for you? This is some people's leader. This is some people's ruler, man. Some people say, yeah, this is my king. Nasty, man. Right? People wanted this guy in power, saying, yes, we got King Charles now. Things is gonna be good. These guys, who are these guys, man? So there's judgment coming to the earth in all manners of places. And this right here is a sign, because the ruler is a representative of the people. So when the ruler is getting judged like that so quickly after coming into power, that's the Most High. I'm gonna go to Proverbs. Chapter 21. Right? It says the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So everything pertaining to the king, whether it's kings of this world, whether it's kings of the heathen, it's all in the hand of the Lord. So the Most High set it up where these kings are going to be going through these types of things, and that's a straight judgment from the Lord, man. All right. Did you have a point?
Yeah, I got a good point. I got a good point, and yeah, man, that kind of leads to the point of like reparations, man. Because people think they're gonna get something back. You know, they've been doing reparation marches. Oh, maybe they owe us this much, and then they get the calculator and working out. Right? There's a show I'm gonna show you. I'm sure people know about it. It's called Atlanta, innit? And on this show, they'll like show obviously it's very creative by obviously a Jake, right? And there's an episode where it's called, I believe it's called Reparations, or it's called The Big Payback, where they'll show let's say, let me just show it and it will speak for itself. There's like a woman, and one of the main characters, she says, "Oh, your family owned my mom for 12 years. You owe me money." And it starts affecting all the Edomites. So all the Edomites, they're shook because they're thinking, okay, who did I, have as a slave, right? Like you said, you can't run away from the debt, man. And like I think this country does that thing. Do you like, say if your parents have a debt, you kind of inherit it or something, you kind of pass it on to you, now you got it. Right? It's the same thing with the Bible, man. Right? Let's watch this.
What is this about?
Your family owned my great-great-grandmother and father for 12 years.
Right? Hey. See that? So this isn't a film, right? But this is facts as well.
What is this about?
Your family owned my great-great-grandmother and father for 12 years. You owe me money.
You owe me money. Well, obviously, you know, Jake, we kind of put it on that, you know, but for theatrics, it's quite good, isn't it? Right?
They can look you up and force you to pay.
This concerns all of us, Willie.
No, don't ask.
Right. So you see, obviously, in short, right? There's Jake's. They're collecting. It's time to pay the piper, like you were saying. Someone's got to pay for these repercussions, man. Right. So let's get that in the book of Isaiah. Right. Someone's got to pay, man. Someone's got to, get the reparations. Someone, you know what I'm saying? You know, because even I've seen some universities till this day still, they benefit off of slavery. They're making money off of it. Right? It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 14. I'll get straight to the point. We read verse 12, and it says, "Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities." Right? So, someone's got to pay for what the forefathers did, man. Because the forefathers, right, just like we did, we had to pay for what our forefathers and foremothers did. Right? But how much so these other nations, then, for what they've done to us? Or do we just say, okay, well, we just, it's fine. It is what it is. We just have to. You got coons out there that be saying, you got to stop talking about slavery. You got to stop talking about it. Well, that tells us why we're in the position we're in today, right? As well as the Bible itself, which tells you why we're in this position, right? Obviously, us breaking the commandments, right? Right, going against what the Most High said, right? But also, you have all these other nations which took what was ours. right? Talking about we're gonna loan back your damn statues. How you gonna loan back? How you gonna? And that's how you know they're just wicked. How you gonna steal something and then you say, cool, hey, let's make a law so that we don't have to give it back, but we can extort the people we stole it from. That's what this country will do to you. That's what Babylon will do to you. That's what this system will do to you. Right? That's what they've done. So there's got to be a recompense, right? Let's get that. There's got to be a recompense for that, man. Get the Galatians 6 and 7. Right? God is not mocked. Right? Everyone's gonna have to answer. Okay, so we're gonna line up the Edomites. We lined them up. Okay, well, what did you do? Most I win in the kingdom, I'm gonna have a field day. You line them up, right? One by one. All right, what did you do? Oh, I done this. Oh, okay. You wait there. Right? I'll read this precept first. Right? Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right? So for whatever you've put in, right, just like with us as the Israelites, whatever work we put in, and that's what you're gonna, that's what you're gonna get back out. You're being slothful as an Israelite. Hey, I don't know if you gotta be on the ball as an Israelite, whether you're a sister, you're a brother, you gotta be on the ball, you gotta be putting your brick in. Right? So just in contrast with obviously these other nations, for what they've done, for what Esau's done, right? And what do you think his judgment is? Right? Do you think he's a judge? Okay. Well, you probably have some coons. Okay, but we have to let them go. Let them. They're okay. Right? You got these old Eves that be handing out leaflets and saying, "Oh, Christ loves you, Christ." Hey, I'm watching her trying to give leaflets to these Edomites. I don't give a damn. I'm telling their sister, they don't care about that. They don't care about God, man. You're putting your hand up. There you go. They don't care, man. Edomites don't care, man. That's why you have to come out of this cool mentality, man. You have to know your enemy. For you to progress, and you have to know your enemy and how your enemy thinks. Right? There's a book of, you got to give back double unto them, man. Right? But hey, in righteousness, no weird things, man. We're not gonna abhor Edomites, man. Like it says, abhor, not hate, abhor. Right? We should do abominably. We're not gonna do that, but righteously we will correct with a rod of iron, man. All right, it's the book of Revelations, chapter 18, and I'll start from verse 3, where it says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." That's talking about the so-called. That's talking about the Edomites nation. Their thing. We've enjoyed it. Yeah, we liked it, and now look where it's ended you up. Man. Now you're finished on the roads. Now you're just out there telling the men of the Lord, hey, that's this. This is not the real wisdom, and you're spitting from your mouth, right? Because this system's chewed you up, right? And I jump down to verse 6. It says, I start at verse 5. But it says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities." Because hey, the Most High kind of forgot that Esau done this, right? And the Most High last minute, the Most High kind of changing. Wait, hold on. Wait, see that Hebrews verse? I take that out of there. Take that out of there. And Yahweh forgot, right? The Most High has remembered her iniquities, right? It says verse 6: "Reward her even as she have rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double." So what she done, give her double, man. Right? How they messed up, I give them double, man. How they treated us, I give them double. Right? That's what it is. Right? You're not gonna tell your kid he's kind of getting murked. He's getting murked out at school and that. You say, okay, just leave. Are you gonna tell him fight back, man? So what do you think we're gonna do? We're just gonna sit here. Yeah, well, Right now it's not that time, you know, but you know, zealous Jakes, they're trying to turn it up, they're trying to kick off the you know, trying to start up the race wars and that. And you got that kind of happening. You got these Tommy Robinson guys kind of saying, okay, yeah, look what's going on, right? These Islam groping gangs, so like, yeah, and they're doing this, and they're doing it, and they're meeting up, kind of rallying the Edomites, right? So let me pull up this article as well in regards to judgment as well, right? So again, end time headlines, another good website people to check out, right? It says Michigan City ramps up security after op-ed calls it America's jihad capital, Salakia, right? So what do you think is gonna go on there, man? What do you think is gonna go on there, right? And see that? And they got their little dojo set up. They already got a dojo set up, right? It says this. It says opinion. Dearborn, Michigan is ramping up its police presence in response to fallout from an opinion piece that described the city, which has the nation's highest Muslim population per capita, as America's jihadi capital. Right? Right? So, hey, you see that? So America's jihadi capital. And remember, you gotta understand, like, these people, they probably have families back in these countries, right? That are being, you know, bombed and whatnot, right? They're being, all this is happening. They're saying, well, the Lord's kind of raising up their spirits, right? Saying, okay, yeah, cool, let's kick something off, and they're kind of planning, and you know, they go back to their little clubhouse or whatever, and they're making stuff, and they say, yeah, this one's a good one. We're gonna put this down in the damn bus station. Got a little something for them, right? The Lord's raising up their spirits, man. That's what happens, right? Let me get this precept as well. Right, I'm gonna go to the book of, right, 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. Right, I'm gonna read from verse number 14. Right, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Right, so if you're of this world, are you gonna be destroyed, man? And Esau, he wants this system to stay about and to keep on going. He wants it, you know. That's why they be trying to put everything to make everything become digital, right? Digital, this, everything's digital, right? It says this. It says, verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? So people are getting to the point where they're now going to be all right, well, everyone. That's why you got to get with your own people, man. Everyone's trying to say, okay, I'm gonna be with them. I'm gonna be with them. We saw an actual Israelite with a damn Amalekite, man. And he's trying to say, yeah, I'm an Israelite. I'm an Israelite as well. I'm an Israelite. Brother kind of told him, no, you're not. When did you go through these curses? He's confounded. He said, I don't know. Well, you know, well, everyone's kind of gone through that. Well, no. Right? So there's going to be a verse, I'll read on. There's going to be people, destruction is coming. Destruction is coming, man. No doubt about it. It's at a boiling point now. You can see things are good. If you're not watching, boy, if you ain't watching, then boy, right? Verse 15, it says, for the sword, verse 16, it says, for there shall be sedation among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? So it's even, if we go on, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right? People are going to be trying, oh, I'm trying to go there, and you're not going to make it. Right? And I'll jump down. Right? I'll jump down to verse 31, and it says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled and keep silence through their power and shall flee. Right? So these the dragons of the east, they're kind of they're rubbing their hands together like this, right? With their big long turban thingies, rubbing their hands and saying, yes, death to so and so. They be saying, yeah, death to America. That's what they be saying. But that's what's gonna be happening, man. So that's why you gotta watch what's going on. If you're not watching, hey, you're not gonna make it, man. But come on, you got it.
All right, they got particular chants out there where they be singing them songs there. So don't think that they're just joking. They're just saying it for fun. Don't think that they're just reciting their favorite lyrics to their, like they got the Arab Lil Baby or something out there and they're just singing a favorite song. But these are real chants, man. Right? You have war chants. That's all nations did that. We did that. The heathens do that. It's just natural. Just like when they go to commit certain crimes, they play certain music to like get them in the zone. That's their war chants, man. You got certain war songs and songs about people. Okay. Songs about people going into crimes and thefts and robberies and stuff like that. They have certain songs, man. They have war chants, man. I'm gonna go to Job though. I'm gonna go to Job chapter 24, verse 24. It says, "They are exalted for a little while." All right, these heathen, they're exalted for a little while. These nations, they're on top, but it's just a little while. It's not gonna be forever. The scripture tells us it's just a little while, man. So knowing that it's only a little while, know that it's gonna be soon that they're not gonna be here anymore. All right. It says they are exalted, but for a little while, but are gone and brought low. So they're gonna be brought low. All right, I'm gonna get this article. Here we go. It says US strikes on Iran linked targets just the beginning. So these US strikes that have been put upon Iran, it says that these are just the beginning. All right, so as we saw earlier, you had those members of the army that were killed from the US by that drone, and the America has been in retaliation. Right, it gives a little summary, man. All right, it says the US is planning more steps in its response to the attack in Jordan, which killed 3 US troops a week ago. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says. He says Friday's strikes on Iran-backed targets in Iraq and Syria were just the beginning of the US response and declines to rule out direct military strikes on Iran itself. So these things are just the beginning. The scripture tells you about the beginning of sorrows when you hear these wars and rumors of wars. And it said this is just the beginning. Don't think that this is the be all and end all. There's going to be worse to come. There's going to be more to come. Where are we at? Right. It says the US accused Iran of having its fingerprints on the attack on the US base in Jordan and said the drone was Iranian made. So they're saying what was responsible for those three, most likely those are Israelites that got killed. They're saying it was because of Iran, because it was the weapons were manufactured by them. But these are the same people, you know, like with the UK as well, that are funding these other nations that are going to war, like Ukraine, right? So, you know, these are hypocrites for real. So when they get bit with the same, when they taste their own medicine, they're not gonna like it, man. It says Iran says the accusations it was involved are baseless. The Islamic resistance in Iraq and Iran-backed militia claimed responsibility. So Iran as a nation is saying it wasn't them, but you have certain groups in Iraq that are saying, even though they're backed by Iran, they're saying it's them. So kind of he say, she say right now. Iran is saying, you know, it wasn't us. The US is saying, yeah, it was you. And Iraq is saying, yeah, it was us. But Iran, they kind of backed us. So, you know, it's like no one really wants war, but they want to basically, as I say, they want to throw rocks, you know, and they want to kind of run away, man. You know, the throwing rocks, it's hitting the surface, and then they want to run away. And when someone comes out, not trying to act like it was them. So, you know, kind of cowardice, man. Now, if it was you, just say it was you. Everyone's just trying to point the blame and trying to get away with it without suffering the consequences. It says, separately, the US, with help from the UK, also launched airstrikes against Houthi targets in 13 places across Yemen on Saturday in an attempt to stop the group's attacks on international shipping. The Houthis, who are also backed by Iran, have been targeting commercial vessels in the Red Sea since November in response to the war in Gaza. The Houthis have vowed to respond. So you have the Houthis, you have those in Iraq, and they're all being backed by Iran. And Iran is a nation that is scaring America. Just have to put it straight. They're shook of Iran. Look how much power that they've got, that they're using these other nations that they have on their side to get to America, and then America's not even trying to do nothing about it. I'm going to go back to Job 24:24, because this is what's happening. It says, they are exalted for a little while. So there was a time where none of these things would be allowed to happen. They wouldn't get away with that. Right? They would have got, because we saw what happened in the so-called 9/11, man. Look at the retaliation then. But these nations can come and kill their soldiers now. And now they just, you know, just say, you know, it happens. We're not going to go to war. It happens though. Right? Finishing that. It says, but are gone and brought low. So right now, Babylon is low. People don't think highly of Babylon the Great anymore. They don't put respect on their name anymore. It says, they are taken out of the way as all other and cut off as the tops of the ears of corn. What does it mean they're going to be cut off as the tops of the ears of corn? They're going to be cut off, right? I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 4. These nations will be cut off. They're going to be unnecessary.
So, like, even what you said a very good point about the funding thing as well. When you look at before time, a lot of these little militias and that was set up by by Babylon itself, by America. They were funding them, like your Saddam Husseins, the Gaddafis, and all that. They were funded, set up to dismantle governments that America was against, and then those same people turned against them, and now they got to send another coup. But can't.
Exactly. So all of the friends of Esau are just turning against him. He's not gonna have any friends, man. All of the power he once thought he had and dominion he once thought he had, he's now being brought low, and they're gonna be cut off like the ears of the corn, as the same. 2 Ezra chapter 4 verse 32 says, "And when their ears shall be cut down, which are without number, how great a flaw shall they feel." So you think this is just speaking about just actual vegetation, and this is speaking about people that of this of the wicked, that they're going to be judged. So just as the ears are cut down and they're all going to be on the floor, that's going to represent these Edomites, man. These Edomites are going to be fully just filling up the floor, right? Because of all of the judgment that's going to come to them, right? The blood is going to be high. The bodies are going to be high in number, and it's going to fill the floors, man. I'm going to stay in Job. I'll go back to Job. I'm going to go to Job chapter 27. And then on verse 13. Right, because you have to understand that this is an inheritance. These are the things that happen unto these nations. Shalom, Sapaya.
Shalom, Yahweh Shema Shabbat.
It's Job chapter 27 verse 13. It says, "This is the portion of a wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors." Right? It says the heritage of oppressors. Oppressors have a heritage that they pass down to their children. And this is something that people forget. Right? People forget that. It says, "Which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword." Right? So you're wondering why these nations are being multiplied. They're being multiplied for the sword. They're not being multiplied for, to prosper in this world and be the salt of the earth. No, that's not their purpose. They're not here to be here for the rest of eternity. Oh yeah, these Edomites, they're going to be here forever. And they're just going to be reigning, and they're always going to be on top. And we're always going to be on the bottom. That's just how it is. A lot of people, they just come to terms with us being on the bottom, and that's just how it is. And they just normalized it. That's just how it is, Everybody's really equal, though. I know there's a evil society that runs the world, but, no, man. We're meant to be reigning and ruling in righteousness. I'm going to finish that. It says, "If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death." All right, this is for the portion of the wicked. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death. So as you see, their bodies are going to be filling up the ground. That's those that remain of him. They're going to be buried in death, man. Just as the green ears are cut off from the corn, that's going to be these Edomites, man. Right? Whether that's in the wars, whether that's in the judgment from Yahushua, right? And it's happening. These things are happening right now, man. The spirits are getting ready to pour forth these wars upon the earth. It says, those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay. So as a brother was saying about reparations, they heap up their silver as the dust. They're taken from all the nations. They're taken from all of our people, our heritage, our inheritance, and they've used that and laid it up just like it was dust, man. It says, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. So it's already prophesied that we're gonna be able to divide the things that was stolen from us. We're going to divide that in righteousness. Everyone's gonna have a good amount of riches, man, in the kingdom Most High willing. So we're working towards that, man. We have to be living a righteous lifestyle so we can get to that place where we're dividing the silver, man. Give a brother this large amount of talents of silver. It's not going to be little pieces, man, little silver chains and stuff. That's going to be nothing, man. Talking big blocks, big talents of silver, man. That is going to be dividing amongst your brothers, man, because it was stolen from us. There's one that says, he buildeth his house as a moth, and as a booth that the keeper maketh. The rich man shall lie down, but he shall not be gathered. He openeth his eyes, and he is not. So that's their judgment. The Lord lets us know that their time is very short. They're just here to be raised up, so that the Most High can show his power in them, and they can bring them back down to where they're meant to be at. Did you have a point up?
Shalom. One more time. Yeah, man. Yeah, brothers, brought out very mighty points as usual, this topic, Esau, judgment of Esau, reminding me, basically, what we had in the scriptures in the so-called New Testament, and we deal with Esau, and because we know 2 Ezra 6:9 talking about that this present world, or Job 9:24 talking about that the hand is given, that the world is given to the hand of the wicked, that he right now, has all the so-called, strings in his hands. So we gotta move right now, like wise as a serpent and harmless as doves, but yet, we have to bring out the word, like Isaiah 58 verse 1, for example. But there's always a place for everything, like Ecclesiastes 3 is talking about, right? So I just wanted to talk about that point real quick, just briefly, and then go back basically to the actual point of the whole class, the whole lesson. So Proverbs chapter 2, let me start from verse 10 and I read to verse 12. It says, when wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. Verse 11, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. Verse 12, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things, who leaveth the paths of uprightness to walk in the way of darkness. So even in verse 12, when you read it, even in the NLT, it says, wisdom will save you from evil people, from those whose words are twisted. So we know, the wicked, like it says in, I believe, Psalm chapter 55, verse 20, when I'm not mistaken, where it's talking about the words of his mouth are smoother than oil, stuff like that, but wars in his heart, we know basically that we are right now amongst them that have the power to kill us and to persecute us and all this stuff. So we have to be wise, but at the same time we have to proclaim the judgment, because that's our job, our office, like I believe it says in Jeremiah 28, somewhere, verse 20 or 8, something like that, where it's talking about, you know, that prophets of old prophesied, you know, against, you know, great kingdoms and stuff like that. So we have to do that. I'm going to go to verse 22, where it says, Proverbs 2, verse 22 in the KJV, but the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. So just like the brother Sakaya just read in Job, you know, it's like the innocent will divide the silver and stuff like that. There's like the reversal of the roads that when you see, for example, I believe in Matthew 27 or something, you know, where Yahushua's garment was parted, you know, for example. So the righteous of the righteous, Hatazadak, King of Kings, you know, his garments were divided, his riches, his belongings were divided amongst the wicked. But right now, at the end, you know, the whole thing will be actually reversed. So I just wanted to emphasize on that point real quick. And then, yeah, I wanted to bring out a couple of precepts about, you know, the judgment as well, you know. Let me start with Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 24. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse number 24. It says, and I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 25, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyed all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burned mountain. So mountains even represent nations, stuff like that, like Mount Seir and stuff like that. When we're talking about or having the Chaldeans, you know, obviously we had back then, the ancient world, the Chaldeans, you know, before the Neo-Babylonian, the real ancient Babylonian kingdom. But now we know actually it's also prophecy when we actually having that in context in Jeremiah 51. But I just wanted to go to the classic to show, you know, that Edom's also called Babylon. Precept upon precept, I believe it's in Psalm chapter 137, verse 7, if I'm not mistaken. And then we jump back to the point, you know. Just wanted to show also in Habakkuk chapter 1 about the Chaldeans, you know, Babylon, that we see more judgments like we see in the book of Job, you know, proclaimed or prophesied, you know, about Esau. But yeah, I believe Psalms 137, verse 7, it says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who say it, raise it, meaning destroy it, even to the foundation thereof. Verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. So like the brother Hapash brought out, you know, in the beginning, not in the beginning, but in the middle, you know, talking about that all these things that happened, you know, like we saw even the movie right now, right? That trailer, you know, we need some way of repercussion or some type of payback. So that payback we have, you know, even in the law in Numbers 35 verse 33, you know, who, you know, build up a town with blood, you know, somehow it got to be, you know, recompense, you know, it can be only cleanse the land with those that shedded, you know, the blood. So I'm a little bit all over the place, but let me go back to Habakkuk now. Habakkuk chapter 1, let me see. Habakkuk chapter 1 verse 6, where it says, for lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, the bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. So we know in Psalm chapter 49 verse 11, I believe, it's talking about, you know, that they call the lands after their own names, you know. There's a specific nation in the world that's known for having, you know, 90% of the world's population or something like that, or countries, you know, their enemies basically. They attack everybody, had colonies, had so-called colonial times and stuff like that. So yeah, so we talking in discretion, but we know who we're talking about. So yeah, verse 7, they are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Verse 8, their horses also are swifter than the leopards and are more fierce than the evening wolves. And the horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hastens to eat. Like we see in the campsites and all that, you know. We that's you know the basic that we know a specific group of people like we have you know like the EU and stuff like that. Certain group of people in the nations and the history from the Roman Empire, Greek Empire, over to countries like Germany, you know, Spain, you know, so-called America, all had the eagle and stuff, you know. And I want to go to, let me go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50 to show that as well, you know, the parallel to it. It says, Deuteronomy chapter 28, let me start from verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, just like we read in Habakkuk 1. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. You know, so these are the same attributes and identify who the Chaldeans are, who the Babylonians are, and they had the judgment already in Jeremiah 51, 24, 25, you know. So I just wanted to emphasize that. Got more precepts in Isaiah 34, verse 5, for example, or Ezekiel. Let me read Ezekiel 25, verse 12 to 14, and then I'm going to read it to the brothers, because I don't want to be too long with it. Ezekiel 25, verse 12. Thus said the Lord God, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah, by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus said the Lord God, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. So the Lord said, you know, in Isaiah 34, verse 5, you know, that he will bathe his sword in blood, you know, coming from heaven and stuff like that, you know. And we know also that, you know, they broken that covenant, like it says in Psalms 55:22, I believe, you know. So, and then they also took vengeance upon Judah. And when we read Sirach chapter 28, verse 1, and then I really yield now. Let me see, Sirach 28, verse 1. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 28, verse 1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. So when we have even Deuteronomy 28, verse 7, it says, even in the law, so-called, you know, Esau was the brother of Jacob. So technically, but he can't repent, so he can't even make good on his things. So he kind of received that, you know, judgment. Nevertheless, the cup can not return from him, like it says in Jeremiah 49 as well. But I'm going to yield for now.
Right. I've got a few more points as well. Alright, because I think you brought, so I think you was reading, but I'm going to read it anyway. It's the book of Jeremiah 51. I'll start from verse 19. Right? It says this. I'll start from verse 18 actually. It says, they are vanity, the work of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. Right? And that's talking about just man in general. Right? If you just hear, everyone's got a purpose, man. Even the animals, the plants, they got a purpose. Man's got a purpose. Right? Then it says, verse 19, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. So we're the portion of the Lord, right? This is verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Right? So we're going to be the ones that are set up to do a tour de France, right, around the world, right? Catch Eden, right? Catch the Moabites, the Elamites, right? The Hamites. We're going to be set up to do that. We're going to be going around doing that. But hey, yo, Christian pastors, they don't read that. They won't say, okay, hey, did you know that the Israelites are going to be destroyed? They don't even read these kind of things, man. Right? But the Lord says you got to read this. You got to read the scripture, right? It says, verse 21, and with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. Right, so there's going to be a lot of death, man. There's going to be a lot of death. Like thus saith the Bible. Right, there's going to be a lot of death. Right, people are going to be they're going to be terrified, man. Right, there's certain verses people don't really go into these chapters, man. Right, I'm going to Psalms 109. Right, as well. I'm going to read Psalms 109 and I'll start at verse 7, right? It says, yes, verse 7, when he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayer become sin, right? So, hey, wait, who's going to be judged? Hey, Esau, man, he's going to be judged, right? It says, verse 8, let his days be few, and let another take his office, right? Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow, because that's what happened to us. Right, some brothers, they don't know their mother, they don't know their father, and that's what happened to us. So that's that Revelation 18 and 6, where we're giving back double unto them, right? It says, verse 10, let his children be continually vagabonds and beg, let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places. I was talking about Esau, man. Right, they're vagabonds, right? Vagabonds just walking around, going around the earth and colonizing. And we're going to be vagabonds, man, right? It says, verse 11, let the extortioner catch all that he have, and let the stranger spoil his labor. Right? So there's a lot of judgment, man. There's a lot of judgment as well. A lot of judgment that comes with what you do to others, man. Even wicked Israelites. You're being a wicked Israelite, are you gonna be judged too? Right? And I'll land with this point in Psalms 137. Right? I'll start verse 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. You said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Right? So Babylon is set to be destroyed. Somebody might have said to your auntie, okay, well, we're going to be here forever. Maybe when I turn 80, well, you might not make it to 80. When I'm 120, well, you might not get to them ages, man. Right? It says, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Right? Verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. So you might pick up the Edomites, little one, pick up, and you just dash it down on the floor, man. But this is the Bible. People say, okay, you're doing it too much, you're saying too much, you gotta be more peaceful. And what the Bible says, it says you're gonna be happy, you're gonna be big smile on your face, right? You pick up Edomites babies, right? You say, oh yeah, cute, blue eyes, yeah, this is so beautiful, and then you dash it on the floor, man. Right? That's what the Bible says. And I got one more precept for that as well. Right? Let me get one more precept. And then I'll yield, man. Because this is something that's been prophesied of old, man. Right? Let me get that. Come on, this is a book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse number 8. Right? And it reads, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right? So that's what we're doing, prophesying against these nations. Right? It says, verse 9, the prophet which prophesieth peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord has truly sent him. Because that's why a lot of these pastors, they don't be teaching, okay, well, America's going to be this, and then this guy's going to, they don't be teaching that. We give you raw, uncut, what the Bible says, as the Israelites, as you're supposed to do. We're not lying and giving you soothsaying gospel, man. We're just telling you what the Bible says. And you link it up with prophecy, what's going on right now. And that's what's being done, man. Right? But can't I yield? Okay.
All right. We're just here to say it as it is, as it's written. And if you have ears to hear, then you may receive the understanding, most high willing. So the things that we're seeing on the earth, these wars that we're seeing, is all the judgment of Esau being played out, because there's plagues that come with the wrath of the Lord. So we're seeing, like, you had the 10 plagues on Egypt. You're also having plagues upon Babylon the Great, in order for them to have time to think about what they're doing. Do they want to continue doing the wickedness that they're doing? Did they want to let the Israelites go? No, the Pharaoh didn't before, so they won't let us go. But these plagues still have to come out. These judgments still have to come out. These seals still have to be opened. The cup still has to be given unto them in order to drink it, because someone's got to drink that. Right? They made us drunk, and the Most High is going to make them drunk. We were drunk, and because we were asleep spiritually, we were vulnerable. We were getting too infatuated with the things of these heathen, and we got drunk off that. Now the Lord says it's their time to get drunk now. Right? With the wrath of the Lord. And we'll go to Job 31. Because Job is just full of prophecy, really. Job is full of prophecy of the wicked. Alright, some people saying, no, Job was an Edomite. How's he an Edomite? When he's prophesying their destruction, man. All throughout Job. Right, so if you ever thought Job was an Edomite, I just go back into these precepts. Right, Job 18, Job 27, Job 31, Job 20, Job 21. And he's prophesying their destruction from a perspective of someone who's not those people. Is Job chapter 31 verse 3. It says, is not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity? So they're going to get a strange punishment, man. They're going to get a punishment and a judgment that no one's ever seen before, no one's ever experienced before. Like King Charles, he's getting a strange punishment. Everyone's going to get something strange, right, for the little bit of change that they've been grafting for, from that they've stolen from us, man. Everyone's going to get their reward, right? Let me get this article here. It says, Iraqi MP threatens to cut off subsidized oil to Jordan over US strikes. So the strikes, they they're not free, man. Right? These nations are saying, "Oh, you can't just come and do these things. We're gonna stop oil from getting to Jordan if you continue to strike us." It says the Iraqi MP called for cutting off subsidized oil to Jordan after accusing it of participating in US airstrikes on the country, something Jordan has denied. So everyone's denying this. Everyone's like using a third party in order to participate in these wars just so that they can deny it, say, "No, it wasn't me." Like Shaggy, man. You're gonna get judged. You're gonna get caught on camera, right? Doing your wickedness, man. And that's what's happened. These nations, they're caught, man. Most High has seen them, and they're trying to say it wasn't me. It says an Iraqi MP, Mustafa Jabbar Sanad, has proposed cutting off subsidized oil exports to Jordan amid false rumors of the latter's participation in US airstrikes on Iraq on 2nd of February. So, the US already said that they want to go out and make their own retaliation. So, Iraq trying to say, in Jordan, it was you did it. It's like they're trying to draw a line in the sand and trying to see who's on their side, who's not on their side. If you're on our side, show it, prove it. If you're on their side, look, just say it. Stop trying to be half and half. These other nations are trying to see who's on their side before they really get into this war. They're trying to decipher or determine who in this Middle East so-called is on our side and who is on the Western side, so that they know who they're laboring with, so they know who they're going to be working with and what the end result is going to be, because they know what they're getting into now. So they're looking at these nations, man. They're sussing them out. They're sussing them out to see who's real, who's serious. All right. I'm going to go to Psalms chapter 52. Psalms 52. From verse 5. Let's start from verse.
It's not on the screen.
Okay. We'll start from verse 3. It says, "Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness." Selah. So Esau, he loves to lie. He doesn't like to speak righteousness. He loves to speak about sin. Reading on, it says, "Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. God shall likewise destroy thee forever." Right? Because you like to lie, because you like to put out wickedness, because you like to say you're the people of God and you're not, because you like to steal the inheritance of the children of Israel, because you like to continue oppression, because you don't want to repent, because you still think these things are fine and okay, because you continue to oppress all these other nations, because you continue to defile the earth, to put sin in the world, to convince our people to sin, God shall likewise destroy thee forever. Because you wanted to destroy the children of God. You wanted to destroy the Most High God so you could be reigning upon the earth yourself, but you couldn't do it because you're too coward and you don't even have the ability and the power to do it, even if you did. So it says, God shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place. So they're gonna get plucked out of Europe, man. Right? Like a unibrow hair. They're gonna get plucked out, man. It says, "And root thee out of the land of the living. So they're going to be taken out of this land. They're going to be taken out of Israel. They're going to be taken out of wherever they've gone to. And they're going to be devoured, man, because they thought they could devour with their words. It says, the righteous also shall see, because when they're getting destroyed, the righteous is going to get to see it happen. We're going to get to see these nations being judged. The righteous shall see. Right? It says, the righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. We're going to be laughing at him. Going to be creasing. I'm going to be in stitches. Just laughing at these heathens just getting judged, man. About the Edomite just swinging like that in the air. The Edomite baby just swinging like a... In the Olympics, they got the hammer throw. Because the Edomite is going to be hammer thrown, and they have that startup. And then they do the second phase, and they hold it out, and they're kind of swinging, and they put it on the balance, and they get the right trajectory. So when you see that, and you see an Edomite just doing 70, 80 meters, you know, it's gonna be funny. You know, you might have people on the side while it's in the air, just like trying to throw stuff at the Edomite baby. People are gonna be creasing like, that's funny. But you know, we're gonna laugh also because they actually tried and thought that those things that they did to us, it will never get found out. So we're gonna be laughing about that. Like, you really thought you get away with it, like like you're a joke, man. You thought you could just do all these things to us, all these atrocities, rename our lands, try to turn nigger into Nigeria. You thought you could just do that and get away with it. No, God shall likewise destroy thee forever. All right. Verse 7, it says, lo, this is the man that made not God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness. So with Esau's prosperity, he's used that for military gain. He's used that for financial and economic manipulation, right? Manipulating currencies and all types of sorceries. That's what he's trusted in. You know, trust in the Most High God. So he's gonna get devoured. He doesn't need to be here. He's not wired to do righteousness. Right? You brothers got any other points?
Real quick, it's kind of late. Leave. Should also slowly but surely. Just wanted to hop on your last point as well. You know, add onto it that it says in Surah 21 verse 15. If I'm not mistaken. The same spirit I see in Habakkuk again, chapter 1, verse 12, where it says, "O art thou not from everlasting, O Lord my God, mine Holy One? We shall not die. O Yahweh, O Lord, thou hast ordained them for judgment, and Almighty God, thou hast established them for correction." So, you know, when we are in context, when we in context, you know, in the chapter, you know, when we read in verse 8 and all that, you know, that they are like the eagle and all that, the proud and all that, in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4 and stuff like that, verse 5, we transgress it with wine and stuff like that. And then we go to the, Revelation 18, you know, and Jeremiah 49 as well, you know, with the cup and the whole wine to make it the nations mad and all that. When we have all that in mind, we know that, you know, it's talking about Edom, it's talking about Esau, and he was just made for the correction. basically, for going off of the Israelites, basically, because we sinned, and the other nations were always used for either chastisement or correction, or when we're in righteousness, like in the days of King Solomon, for example, that we could use them, that they basically are our servants. So yeah, can't. So verse, let me read on real quick. Let me see if I can jump. Futures and who is that tongue? Yeah, let me jump to verse 14 and just read real quick to verse 17. It says, "And makest man as the fishes of the sea," so it's talking about the wicked, "as the creeping things that have no ruler over them. They take up all of them with the angle, they catch them in their net, and gather them in their drag. Therefore they rejoice and are glad." Verse 16, "Therefore they sacrifice unto their net, and burn incense unto their drag, because their portion is fat, and their meat blanches." So we know that Hosea 12 and 10, for example, or Job 11 verse 6, the Moses talking in the scriptures by similitudes, so people are right now, or nations are like fishes, or like the sea, so, and basically the wicked catching or heaped all nations unto him, basically. I believe in the next chapter it's saying the same thing, and verse 17, God, this is the point. Shall they therefore empty their net and not spare continually to slay the nations? So even in the NLT it says, verse 17, Habakkuk 1 verse 17, "Will you let them get away with this forever? Will they succeed forever in their heartless conquest?" So basically we have that unrighteous rule, like it says in Proverbs 29 verse 2, when the wicked rule, the people, mourn, but when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, So we asking basically, how long is this supposed to go, this wicked rule? What's happening on it? And I just wanted to conclude in second Esau's chapter 11. Let me start from verse 40, read to verse 44, 46, and then I'm gonna close out. But I have it done. This is second Esau's chapter 11, verse 40. It says, "And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression." So it's talking about, the beast, like we had, second Esau's in Daniel, Revelation, talking about the beast system, the beast, it says, "And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit." So there's a certain demographics that's ruling the earth with wicked oppression and deceit. Verse 41. Let me jump to verse. I just read. So like verse 41. "For the earth hast thou not judged with truth." So this wicked man, or this wicked ruler, didn't judge the earth with truth, but with deceit. Verse 42. "For thou hast afflicted the meek, which shall inherit the earth," like Matthew 5 and 5 is saying, like Yahushua says. "And thou hast heard the peaceable, thou hast loved liars," like he loved to lie, like Zechariah brought out, "and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm." So he even attacking those that did nobody harm, like we going to the so-called Polynesians or something, for example, to Japhet, attacking them and stuff like that, are in territories where nobody actually never thought even that they're coming, and then boom, they're like a virus spread throughout the earth, like it says in First Maccabees 1:11. Evil multiplied, after a certain nation of people who has the eagle also as their symbol, multiplied, under Alexander the Great, but after his death itself. So, verse almost there. Verse 44, the highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended. Like it says in 2 Esau's 69, Esau's the end of the world and Jacob's the beginning of it that followed. So that wicked ruler is ruling, and then it's about to end. And his abominations are fulfilled. When we read Jeremiah, maybe I'm quoting wrong, where it's talking about, or 2 Esau 15:8 talking about the same thing, that the whole wickedness, the whole iniquities are, reaching unto heaven, and are in the skies basically, and now having the cup basically fulfilled, the sealing. I hope I'm not too long-winded. Verse 54, and then 54 and 46. So like 45 or 46. It says 44. 2 Esau 11:44. And therefore it appear no more thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed, like it says in Isaiah 65, I believe verse 17, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. So this is everything what we about to face. All these things gotta come to pass in front of our eyes. All this wicked rulership, all this wicked oppression, is about to cease. But brothers gathered. I hope that made sense.
I've got a closing precept. Alright, just for closing precept. Around the book of Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse. I'll start from verse number 5, and it reads, "And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for Yahweh proved them and found them worthy for himself." So that's talking about the Israelites, right? Being proved. Right now, this is a proven stage. Right? This is a proven stage for the marriage right now. Just like you'd prove a woman, you prove your rib, right? Your potential rib, you prove them. That's what this is about right now. Right? We're in that stage where we're being proved, right? Right? We're being chastised because we're being tried. Right? It says verse 6, "As gold in the furnace have he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering." So we're a burnt offering unto the Most High. When we sacrifice the things we sacrifice to teach his word, right? We don't do it because, I guess I've got to do it for Yahweh. No, we do it because we want to do it, man. All right? That's the mindset we should have. It says, verse 7, "In the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the rubble." Right? Verse 8, "They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and the Lord shall reign forever." So when we're waiting, that's what we're waiting for, to be able to judge the nations and to be at peace, right? And for Yahweh Shai and Mashiach to reign forever, man. Right? Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right? That's what we're waiting for. That's literally what we're waiting for. The judgment, right, of the nations, right? And our deliverance. That's what we pray for. Right? And that's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I can't like you.
I've got a last one. Psalms chapter 64 verse 7 says, "But God shall shoot at them with an arrow." So the Most High, he has arrows. So right, in these wars, amongst these wars, the Most High, he's going to have some firepower too, right? We're not just going to be alone and we're going to get caught. And no, when Yahushua comes back, there's going to be arrows, man. There's going to be arrows sent, right? It says, but God shall shoot at them. Now, God's going to shoot people up, man. You're thinking, oh yeah, you know, people are going to have these missiles and they're going to have these bombs. God's going to shoot people. So it says in the Bible. God's going to shoot people. Okay, Christians aren't saying that. Ask Christians, oh yeah, does God shoot people? Right? That's what he does. Right? He's the real top shot. Right? He's the real marksman. Right? Most High's a real sniper. Can't run away, man. He's gonna come back for recompense upon the nations. It says, but God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. They're gonna get wounded, right? And you know, that's thus saith the Lord, man. Right? The Most High has judgments for these nations. He has judgments for Esau. We are seeing the plagues that are coming out of the Most High upon the earth. And these are things to be rejoicing in, that when the righteous shall see it, we shall laugh. So, right, all praise to the Most High. Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're going to close out on that. Most High willing. That was edifying. We're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.